Vikings in Red Dead Redemption 2. In the open world of Red Dead Redemption 2, you can find a couple different points of interest and concrete evidence of Vikings being in the eastern part of the Red Dead Redemption 2 map. And the first point of interest we're going to look at today is the old world scripts. They are engraved onto the stone that is located just north of Annisburg, and surrounding these words engraved on the stone is an engraved serpent, which is going to be important for all of the other points of interest that we're going to be looking at. And if you study it on Arthur's journal, he makes a comment on not knowing what is said, and if we translate it, I can tell you guys exactly what it says. We arrived by boat, beautiful land, gracious people, so we left them to live in peace. They were most likely talking about the Native Americans that lived in that area, and just making a guess here, it was probably the same tribe that now lives in the Wapiti Reservation, but now they've been moved far more northwest to be put in this reservation, or maybe another tribe that has almost been completely wiped out. This also does make geographic sense, since this river here most likely leads to the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic Ocean, since we are just a little bit north of what's in real life New Orleans, and that's on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. The Serpent Mound is a location not too far from Annisburg, just like the other location in relatively the same area. And if we ride up here, we'll see a couple of different tree shelters with a ladder leading up to the first level and another ladder leading up to the second. And once we climb up here, you'll be able to tell that this formation in the grass is not natural. It is a man-made mound that is meant to look like a serpent. And someone built this overlook not that many years ago, but the Serpent Mound was likely here since around the year 1000, which is when the Vikings are rumored to have discovered the Americas. So the Serpent Mound could have been here for almost 1000 years before we stumble across it in the game, but we're clearly not the first. And there's some rocks that highlight some parts of the snake, and this is what I assume to be the snake's eye. This is also related to a specific treasure hunt. You'll have to come here eventually if you're going to 100% the game anyway, but this is where it's at on the map, and this is how close it is to the old world scripts, just being on the south side of Annisburg. The tomb is located in a very beautiful spot on the map, but surrounded by the Murphys, which is a very violent and gross gang in Red Dead Redemption 2. And it's also really close to the Wolfman's Cave, which, if you guys know, that's an Easter egg of a feral man that lives with wolves in this cave. And it's not too far from this waterfall here. The first thing you'll notice after the man-made structure is that this place is littered with skeletal remains of humans and a stone table in the center with some remains. It looks like only one person was either laid to rest here or sacrificed. I'm not too familiar with old world Norwegian practices, but it's obvious that a lot of Vikings were killed here, or Vikings killed a lot of people here. And since it says they left Native Americans to live in peace, this means that something or someone else is responsible for the death of the Vikings. You can find this old Viking helmet left behind that looks very similar to the only real Viking helmet we found in real life, so Rockstar Games really nailed it with the accuracy. And with these skulls to the left of the helmet, on the third one there is something laying under it, and we'll see what that is after we study this location. The only comment Arthur makes on this is, who were these fellas? So clearly he's not brainstorming that hard. But if you look here, we can take this axe, which is obviously a Viking hatchet, and on the hatchet itself there's some carvings and engravings we'll take a look at in a second. But inside these tombs, it's a bit creepy, but it is pretty small, and you can pick up this helmet and put it on, and it will stay in your wardrobe forever. And now to take a look at what's under this skull here, we will have to shoot it, and we can pick up what is an ancient Viking comb under it, and it looks like it's made out of bone or maybe wood. It's not that high definition, so I can't really give an accurate estimate, and it is a super well hidden collectible, and I bet you the first people that found this weren't expecting anything behind those skulls, and the only thing this is worth doing with is holding on to. You can sell it at a fence for $50, and that is a lot of money in this game. but at the end of the day, you can only find one of these, so I think it's more valuable as a keepsake. All of these locations are relatively close to one another, and if you connect all of these points of interest with a line, it will make a triangle with Annisburg being in the center of it. I don't believe Annisburg is any importance to this Easter egg, but I did think it's kind of odd. But we're going to take a closer look at this hatchet and this helmet here. If you take a close look at the hatchet's blade, it has a mangled snake or like a twisted up serpent. And same with all the other points of interest, it's linked by a serpent. My best guess, and what I believe is correct, is that this is just engravings of Jormungandr, which is the giant earth serpent that wraps around the entire world in Norse mythology. Well known in Norse mythology for being responsible of killing Thor. Just after Thor kills the serpent with his hammer, Thor dies from its venom. Some people in my comments were wondering if this is all connected to the Norse inhabited settlement called Manzanita Post. Is a small town located outside of Blackwater, and it also exists in the first game, and in the second game it's a lot different. This small settlement looks kind and friendly and welcoming on the outside, but if we look just below the surface, we can find some very disturbing clues on why these guys left their home country. But to put it short, this is not connected to the other Viking points of interest, but there is a very interesting murder mystery that can only be explored at this location. And unfortunately, the main building here, which is the general store in the first game, is not enterable, but the cabin next to it is. You'll notice that everybody who lives here speaks with a Norse accent, and they're all mostly friendly, and it takes a lot to actually get one to be hostile towards you. But either way, once we make our way to this cabin, it is usually inhabited by two different people, a man and a woman. In Red Dead Redemption 1, there is no Norse people here, and this building is actually a safe house that you can buy. So I don't know what happens to these guys between the years 1907 and 1911, but that's a video for another day. Once you walk into this cabin, if you look straight at your feet, you'll see that there is a floorboard that looks different than all the other ones. You can actually interact with it, and you can pull this specific picture out of it. Just ignore the selection of other pictures. On this photo, there is a man and a woman. They look like they are together, but if you flip the picture around, there is a Norwegian word. It is said how it is spelt, uren. In Norwegian, this word translates to unclean, dirty, or impure. There is another document that you can find much more incriminating and disturbing. If you look under the chimney, it will give you an option to search, and there is a Norwegian journal page. It doesn't give you the option to translate this in game, and unless you're fluent in Norwegian, you cannot translate it, but I have translated it and I will read it. This reads, "To live with this guilt is not to live. It is a slow and painful death, the least I deserve. I hate going to sleep because the only face I see is yours, and all I hear are your screams. Father says that it was the only alternative, but he becomes more worried with each passing day. He knows it, we know it, may the Lord forgive us." The people that live at Manzanita Post are obviously running away from something that happened at their homeland, something that they are responsible of, and something that they feel extremely guilty for doing. It seems they moved here in recent years to have a fresh start and escape from whatever happened in their homeland. And it seems that in the time between Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Redemption 1, they left again, or maybe something worse happened to them. But either way, they left and they are no longer in West Elizabeth as of the events of Red Dead Redemption 1. So I doubt we'll ever know what really happened there. Only speculation. As always, if you guys want more content like this, or if you guys like my shorts or any of my other videos, I would appreciate it very much if you guys subscribed or leave a like. In this past month, we've gained another 1,500 subscribers, and I am very thankful and grateful for all of you guys that stopped by and watched any of these videos. I am very grateful so many of you guys took time out of your day to watch my videos and leave comments and be so supportive, even though I'm relatively new to YouTube. I appreciate every single one of you. And until next time.